Set and go. Welcome, Dr. John Young.
Hey guys, hope everybody's doing okay. I'm here tonight because I found something really exciting for my practice. I've never endorsed anything in 27 years as fully as I have with this. We're going to talk about CBD oil and some of the applications that I've been using in my practice, and why you would be a fool not to investigate this. So we're going to be fairly quick for this and have future seminars or webinars, as they will, to really go deeper into it. But basically, there's this wonderful company that I've investigated called Prime My Body, who's come out with a cannabis oil that, unlike the others, some are made from THC plants. Now, THC is the euphoric part of marijuana, and we really don't want to be high. I just want people feeling good, and I want to get rid of their ailments. The CBD plant comes more just from the straight hemp plant. And what's really unique about this hemp plant, that actually has about 4 different kinds of CBD oil that work on immune function, that can work on energy and mood, and for neurological issues, and also pain and discomfort. So I wanted to start out with saying that we have CBD, or cannabis system, in our bodies. It's actually there. We were meant to have this in our system. That's something I just recently found out. The first type of cannabis receptors are found throughout the body. We just call them CB1, for lack of a better name. CB2 receptors are the ones that intrigue me, because I deal with a lot of autoimmune conditions and a lot of psychological conditions that nobody else can address. And we're going to tell you how you can do that with this oil. And CB2 receptors are found in your white blood cells. We used to think there's only 5 white blood cells that did 5 different things. We've since learned that there's over 159 species of proteins that come off of these, specific to any disease. So whether you have asthma or scleroderma or thyroid issues or kidney problems or Alzheimer's or ADHD, all of this stuff, I'm going to show you why it works, how it works, and why you'd be a fool not to look at it. So I have in front of me, you can't see it, but we'll post it later, a list of 45 different things that have been researched by PubMed. I'm going to read some of them off and wait for this fascinating statement. From acne to ADD to post-traumatic stress disorder, Alzheimer's, diabetes, mood disorders, motion sickness, autism, anxiety, osteoporosis, Parkinson's disease, irritable bowel and psoriasis. What all of these have in common is they can be treated successfully with CBD oil. Now, one of the other things that causes a lot of problem in our system right now is something called the mother effer gene. And the mother effer gene has been, MTHFR, for those of you who want to look it up, has been activated in 1 out of 3 of you, giving you all of those diseases I just named. All right, and that MTHFR is brought to you by our buddies at Monsanto and Tyson and Conagra that are messing with their food sources. Here's what the research indicates. If you smoke medical marijuana and you have any of those diseases, anxiety, ADD, post-traumatic, diabetes, it will actually cause increased coronary artery disease 10 times faster than if you just went with CBD oil. So here's what's really interesting. Anybody with anxiety, depression, and so forth, you should not be using medical marijuana unless you have looked at the MTHFR gene, which you can order through a blood test, or 23andMe will give you a much cheaper analysis, because on a blood test it's $350. Knowing that, now we've got a product that's more successful than medical marijuana, and safer too, because it's not going to inebriate you. The THC content in this is 0.03%. The federal limit is 0.3, so this is 10 times, 100 times less than what's accepted. So it's safer than my truck driver friends and so forth. So there you go on that. Why is this so intriguing? All right, I'll tell you real quickly here. We're going to get a little bit technical, but not too much. Basically, you've got 2 immune systems called TH1 and TH2. Isn't that interesting? The scientists ran out of good names. So we got CBD1 and CBD2. But the first immune system, TH1, which is the one you're born with, and then you have TH2 cells, which are bone cells, or better known as B cells. And this all came out during AIDS research. Well, what we find out that CBD oil does that nothing else can is it reduces the mother of these immune systems that causes the inflammation. That is called Th17, my friend. And if you have a high Th17, you get autoimmune problems, you get cancers, you get asthma, you get bipolar disease, your brain starts melting. It literally does. And CBD is one of the very few things, other than just overdosing on cortisone, that will lower this inflammatory thing that guides both pathways. That's why it's been shown useful in cancer. It also decreases the most inflammatory substance in the body. And if any of you have had a high SED rate or CRP or ANA level, or being diagnosed with a brain condition like Alzheimer's or dementia, would benefit from it. Because the next chemical I'm talking about is called interleukin-6. So if this Th17, the mother of your immune system, is overactivated, you're going to have problems. If interleukin-6 is high, you get all the inflammatory diseases. Well, the cannabis oil actually decreases both of those. So we have less chance of having cancer, less chance of having asthma, less chance of any problem. And even better than that, what it does is it influences your firstborn immune system. The Th1 system is the one that causes inflammation down the whole chain of white blood cells. Remember I said that at least 159 have been mapped out now. It decreases the bad inflammatory immune system while depressing the very top mother issue that's causing all of this. So this is great stuff. You decrease Th17, decrease IL-6, you decrease alpha tumor necrosis factor. Who wants a high tumor, right? Necrosis, even the word sounds scary to me. So we're using that with some cancer patients, nutritional therapy. Of course, I throw in my disclaimer, we're not allowed to say this treats or fixes anything. Yada, yada, you know the story on that. Very good. We talked a little bit about brain issues too, because most people think about marijuana or CBD as helping anxiety and stress and so forth. And the way it does that, it helps out what's called the adenosine receptors in the brain. It actually increases the serotonin receptor sensitivity and decreases dopamine receptor sensitivity. What are dopamine conditions? ADD, post-traumatic stress disorder, people that love sex, drugs, rock and roll, gambling, too much masturbation, as if that's possible, right? But it helps decrease all of those sensations. So this is great for our veterans. This is great for little kids. I give my kid 2 squirts of this, and he doesn't need his Ritalin or any of that nonsense stuff that is shown to turn you into a drug addict or necessitate you taking antidepressants later in life. And as close as I can see, the nearest best drug is called Lexapro, which also is like CBD, and that it helps out with serotonin and dopamine, which is the chemical most doctors haven't even checked for. And you can get actually a blood test for serotonin and dopamine and GABA and glutamine. Now, glutamine is a chemical that causes hyperexcitability, fibromyalgia. It also causes migraine headaches. So guess what? We've just identified 10 diseases that are fixed with 2 little squirts of CBD oil. We talked about migraines. We talked about ADD, PSTD. We talked about depression. We've got anxiety covered. We got bipolar covered. We got cancer covered on this. What about some other unique things? One of the greatest things I've seen this for, schizophrenia. Nobody knows how to fix that? Nonsense. ADD, nobody knows how to fix it? Nonsense. Because if you don't have sufficient levels of glutamine and serotonin and dopamine, which the CBD helps keep for you, then you do turn schizophrenic or get some psychiatric diagnosis. The other great implication is 1 out of 3 people has gastrointestinal issues. So we're talking Crohn's, we're talking irritable bowel, inflammatory problems. I know a lot of people that have stress-related anxiety that just tears their stomach up, and they always get stomach ulcers. So this also downtones all of that too, fixing receptors. And if you think about it, most of the white blood cells are stored in the large intestine. So anybody with a large intestine problem or digestive problem, by enhancing the CBD2 cells, they're going to get rid of these problems. So this is a no-brainer. Now let me give you the big wow statement of the night. The wow, this is amazing. I went on Google today to prepare for this little talk. I went over every one of these 45 diseases that we'll post up later that most people will die from. It's guaranteed. Here's what it says. I looked up cancer and CBD. I was hoping to find 40 articles that said it helped cancer. I didn't find 40. I didn't find 400. I didn't find 4,000. I didn't find 40,000. I found 400,000 articles when you Google cancer and CBD. I looked up autism and acne and diabetes and PTSD and mood disorders and spinal cord injury, multiple sclerosis. Guess what? When you type CBD plus any disease you can think of, 400,000 or more references. That's wow. All right. So what is one of the best forms of it? Right now, the company that I like is called Prime My Body. The scientist there went to U of I, so he's local. I love it because he was able to take the CBD chemical and actually reduce the particles down to almost an atomic level. What I mean by that is a nanometer. A nanometer is if you will look into it, a cell, looked into the ribosome in a cell, and looked at the single strand of DNA in the cell. That's how tiny these particles are. So the minute you spray this stuff on the tongue, it's in the system. All my clients, 100%, feel something within 1 minute. It's just amazing, just this peacefulness. Not the high you get off of weed, not that I would know. But yeah, they do feel relaxed, they feel more focused and so forth. So this is great. And I actually needed 2 shots coming home in Chicago today because there was snow all over the place and the driving was nuts. So it's very useful for that. So the Prime My Body has figured out a way that they can get this wonderful orange flavored chemical into the body, under the tongue. It's 95% absorbed. The next best legit company that I've researched, 12.5% absorption rate. So don't waste your money on a little Ford Taurus or a Prius when you can have the Lexus, you can have the Ferrari that's available for you. Now, I'm not doing a sales pitch here, or Facebook would throw me off, so we're not going to do that. But if you need more information, please contact me. To PM me, or most of you are my patients or emails. If you want to check it out, you can come by the office and we can set you up with that. But again, to recap what we said, there's 400,000 different references. You can look up, I urge you all, type in CBD plus whatever disease you have, depression or anxiety or sleep disorders or Parkinson's, especially Parkinson's and ADD, because that's what we're seeing now. Pancreatic cancer, 1 out of 8 people are dying from. We can help that. Hashimoto's thyroid, 1 out of 2 people. Right? So this is really sad the way our society is going. We can offset the effects of the negative GMO foods. You've got something that fixes the immune function, the energy and mood, your neurological system, and pain and discomfort. And it's just fascinating. One more last thing about the product. The guy was a genius. He put the carrier for the substance in something called phosphatidylcholine. Guess what that is? It's most of your brain matter. It's what makes up the membranes that holds your brain together. So we have all these assaults from all the chemicals, the radiation, electricity, BPAs, plastics, and all of this airplane fluid, because I'm Neuro hair. All of that stuff rips up your brain cells. And if you don't believe me, here's a good at-home test you can do. It's called the GABA Challenge, G-A-B-A Challenge. GABA is an amino acid that is Valium. Valium was modeled after GABA. If you take 1,000 milligrams of GABA pills and you get tired, it means you've got a leaky brain and you will get one of those psychiatric diseases that I told you. 1 out of 3 people has a leaky brain and they're getting Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or ADD, or their antidepressants don't work. This phosphatidylcholine oil that's mixed with the CBD, brilliant, 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 because that helps restore the membranes, holds those brain chemicals so you can't do anything other than feel good. And who doesn't want that? So altogether, 45 diseases, 400,000 references each. I gave you 10 million reasons why you'd be a fool not to be on this product. Let me know what you think. That's it.
Wow, Dr. Jung, thank you so much. I just want to say you were quoting all of the research, all the articles that are out, and that as Prime My Body independent affiliates, we would never make any claims to treat, cure, diagnose, prevent. All Dr. Jung was doing tonight is expressing what the research is showing with this phenomenal oil and plant medicine. So thank you so much, the brilliant Dr. Jung.
Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you again.
Thank you.